Inside the referenced Dropbox folder, we've provided some supplemental training materials. We've got about 40 of these pictures that we pulled off of the FEMA.gov photo library, and they're for general use for training, so there's no copyright issues with any of them. And we've added some different injects or inputs into the bottom of each one. The recommended practice would be to take these and then post them in different locations geographically, have students go out and take the GPS and select the appropriate icons for each one of the different photo boards. So for this particular one, you're going to have 2 evacuations, and those icons can be dropped independently but at the same location. Because there's the difference in satellite movement, it's really not an issue at all to go ahead and just mark the waypoints without moving. A lot of people get really concerned about this. It's not an issue for us. We can stack multiple waypoints in the exact same location, and it's not a problem. Additionally, for any structure, we want to have a structural waypoint with an appropriate icon. This helps in doing general hazard and what we would call destruction assessment. While that may not be our primary mission, it usually is data that the local authorities having jurisdiction request. So for this one, we would have 3 icons, 2 for evacuations, and then 1 for the structure itself. And if there was anything else that we would find in real life, you can also add other types of props. Sometimes we put different hazards, things like that, for the students to find as well, just to keep it interesting. Additionally, we would also take your standard search marking sticker and actually have them clip that search marking sticker onto the sign itself. This gives them the additional practice of doing some of their traditional search markings. In the prepackaged sticker sheet, we also add in what we call the quick reference that you've seen before. This has all of the icons and just a little short 1-sentence reference phrase that goes to a little bit further description for each one of the icons. This seems to be helpful for new users in that it gives them a little more information when there's questions that arise between different types of icons. Finally, in each one of the little packets we give them of their search stickers, we add in a follow-up form. Some of the actual training placards will actually indicate that a follow-up form is necessary. Other ones are optional. If they decide to use a follow-up form for further description, or because they just don't feel like any of the icons that they're given are appropriate, they can default to the follow-up form using the waypoint name referenced to each GPS unit. It's important to note that the follow-up forms must also be correlated to the actual units that the users have in their hands, because as you can imagine, the name of auto generating of 001 could be the same on multiple GPS units. So it's just important that each follow-up form is noted and correlated to both the squad leader and the operator on the follow-up form itself. Good. It's also important to note that you can use the follow-up form to get further information on any of the previous icons. For the example here, if we wanted to note where these particular people were evacuated to, or if there were any other special concerns, then we could use the follow-up form to do that, in which case we would mark an additional F waypoint icon and then use the follow-up form, and if it auto-generated 001, that's what we would write here in the waypoint name field, and we would go through here and fill it out appropriately to give the additional information necessary.